Hello educators, welcome to my channel Tea and Teacher. Today I have come not with a cup of tea but with a book which is Atomic Habits by James Clear. Why I have come with this book was to share with you a very specific technique which I came across in this book, where the author shares about how to cultivate habits. So I made few notes and thought of sharing with you. In his book, the author James Clear shares the experiment of Thorndike in a 4-step model of human behavior. We as educators are every day dealing with human behavior with our kids or students, since we are the ones who are cultivating habits among them by teaching them good and bad habits. But here, the author has shared one thing, that is a 4-step process of Thorndike, who was a psychologist, and of human behavior, and how it works, and how the brain works in cultivating the habit. So I thought of sharing with you so that it becomes useful to you as an educator and you implement it in a process where you understand and do it in your classroom. So the 4-step process is this: cue, cravings, response and reward. These are the 4-step process. So step by step I'm going to explain it to you so that you get an understanding. So the first step, what he says, is the cue. So the cue means the bit of information what you are giving to the person whom you want to cultivate the habit. So cue is like a trigger for your brain. A trigger for your brain, since it means whatever you tell, the reward is going to be to your student. So you need to see that the child understand what is the reward he is going to get when he does a particular thing or he cultivates a habit. The child needs to understand what you want the child to follow that habit. So that is the bit of information what you are giving. So only when you say to the child, for example, if you want the child to write neatly, you must first ask them to draw a line and write in between that line. This way the child gets the cue that okay, my aim is to write neatly. So he has to form the habit of writing neatly. But what is the aim of writing neatly will come to the next step. So here the author says that you have to give the cue. That means it triggers the brain. So you have to tell your student, something like that. Okay, if you read every day 1 page, end of the month, I am going to give you a star. Or if you say, if you learn every day 10 spellings and say it in the class, I'm going to give you a star. So that way the child is getting the cue or the information what he has to do. The next step, he says, is cravings. So when I talk about craving, this is not that craving, okay, you are feeling like eating something, I will give you this, if you do this. No, that is not the craving I'm talking about. Here the author talks about the craving which is very attractive. To form that habit, the child has to have a motivational force behind or a desire to form that habit. So without motivation, the child is not going to get anything of cultivating the habit. So you have to make it attractive. For example, now how you can make it attractive? Like, now what do I mean by making it attractive or craving? Through an example, understand this. Suppose you want the child to start reading, but the child is not forming that habit of reading. Put him into a group of the children, which the children are reading in the class every day, so that the child gets that motivational force, behind looking at the peers. Okay, these children are reading, even I need to read it to get that award or the star from the teacher. This way the child will have the more. Now They could be, the child is least interested in reading. Even if you are asking, you are putting them into a group. So here what you need to do is keep on motivating the child by saying, okay, after 5 minutes, Rohan is going to read. Again, after 5 minutes, you can just say, yes, I think Rohan is very good in reading and he will be able to read it now. Or you can just tell that child, I'll wait for 5 minutes and I think after that you should read it. So this way you are not demotivating but encouraging the children to do the habit or cultivate the habit what you are expecting them to do. The third step is response. Now response is the actual habit what you perform. Okay, it is the form of the thought or the process which is going to take an action. So understand, response also depends upon the ability. So when I talk about ability, if you ask the child to do something and if the child does not have that ability to do, I understand the child will not be able to do. I'll explain this with an example. Suppose the child wants to, you want the child to put the ball in the basketball. But if the child does not know to jump high, how is the child going to go and put the ball into the basketball? So he should have the ability first to jump up high. So if you have not taken your children to that level, you need to understand that the child will not be able to cultivate the habit. So for that you have to give some easy steps before that. Okay, start jumping, bounce the ball, and then take it. Now you jump up high and then put it into the basket. This way you are making the child making the child take the response or action. Now the fourth reward, when I say about the fourth step, the fourth step is reward. Yes, the cue was to take the step to the reward. So the first step takes you to the fourth step. So unless you give the child the first step, the child will not reach the fourth step. Now when I say reward is the end goal of each habit. So what is the end goal of the thing what you want the child to do should be clear. And how do you make it clear? Like for an example, if you want the child to read every day, or you want the child to do the homework daily, you have to make that child okay, if you do your homework daily, you will be the best student in my class. So when the child gets that cue of the reward, what he is going to become in the class, he will start forming that habit. So, and the rewards teach us actions are worth remembering in the future. So these are the rewards. So the rewards will help the child to remember what actions he needs to take to become the best child in the class. So the author says that the brain is a reward detector, that your brain is the reward detector. Understand the sentence. The author is saying that your brain is a reward detector. So immediately, if the child knows that he is going to get some reward if he cultivates this habit daily or he does the things daily, it triggers his mind to take that action or to move towards that habit. So the first purpose of the reward is to satisfy the craving. The second step, what I had spoken about, was craving. So the author says that you need to take the child through that craving, to reach that reward. And the reward is the is the one thing which satisfies the craving. So unless you have something where okay, I'm going to get this, you will never cultivate that habit. For example, if I want to get up early every day, I want to cultivate this habit. So there should be a purpose, there should be a reward. Why should I get up early? What is the reward I'm going to get by getting up early? So unless you give in the starting, that is the first step of your cue, what is going to be the reward, you the person or the child or whoever it is will not be able to form that habit. So if you eliminate the cue part only, there will be no habit formation, because the change will not come. The change comes when you have given the first step to the child, that is the cue, and you have already explained what is the fourth step, that is the reward. So the between two steps, the second and the third one, are the steps which the child will be taking to reach that fourth step. That is, from cue, the child will take the response, and the child will take the craving and the response, and then move to reach the reward. So reward is the end goal of any habit. So because cue is the first indication that we are close to reward, the child will start making an effort to make an habit of reading, or whatever you want the child to do. So I hope you have understood this four-step process which I just came across in this book, Atomic Habits, by James Clear. And I hope we as educators try to read this book, because it's very helpful. It's my personal humble request to all the educators to read this book, to cultivate how the human psychology can help you to cultivate the habits which you want to form on your daily basis. Also, thanks for all the educators who are from my bottom of my heart to for connecting with me and subscribing to my channel. I hope you like whatever the tips and techniques I keep on sharing on my channel. And if you are more interested in knowing and getting knowledge, do stay connected with me and share my video, and do like and comment if you have anything else to say to me. I am open to your feedback, so that you let me know what I can still help you in bringing more topics and techniques which are helpful to the educators. My main aim is to help the educators by giving this free knowledge so that you can implement in your classroom. Also, do like and subscribe my channel, Tea and Teacher.